also work with community ed a lot, and I'm on their board so that we can try and make sure we have everything New Ulm is looking for. So it's been a great 4.5 years here. The rec center has been kind of a dream project for a Park and Rec employee, so I look forward to just continuing and expanding our offerings and everything we do for the New Ulm residents.
Questions for Liz?
I've got one.
Yeah.
You ever hear from participants like in our pickleball or volleyball or whatnot, anything we don't offer or they'd like to see offered?
We get feedback. Some of them are, like, I had a phone call just the other day about someone interested in starting a foosball league. So some of them are very, different and new. We do offer like adult volleyball in the winter and in the summer. We go play sand volleyball at Harmon. Pickleball lately, they run themselves. They like to just play and open. So we haven't had too much concern for like a strict formatted league for any of those programs, but we definitely welcome feedback, and we're happy to look in and see what we can offer. Tennis is a great example. In the winter, we met with tennis and we changed to an open tennis format over the winter instead of the tennis association renting space. And so we're kind of looking next year if that'll be league play or open play, and working with them to try and get more participants in tennis.
Right.
So.
Foosball, I haven't heard that in 50 years.
It hasn't been 50.
For me.
Liz, when you think of like participants in our community, and what are the most popular, like would be hard to, if we didn't have those that you see for children, for adults?
Yeah, I think the youth is definitely where our strongest participation comes in year out. We really hit that like 10 and under age group. And I mean, T-ball is really strong. Swimming will always be important and popular, but it's definitely important that we offer that kind of life skill to the kids. Yeah, I think everyone has a passion, and so it's kind of hard, like, everyone thinks their passion should be, what never goes away, and so we just try to balance that out the best we can with, budget and staffing and time.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you for your leadership and providing that essential programming to our community.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, and feel free anytime, reach out with feedback. We're happy to hear it and work through things.
Awesome.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Liz. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I might just add a couple of items related to recreation. We asked the question about new or other activities. We still have plans to develop a yard game circuit out at North Park, just north of the splash pad area, in the new Lions shelter, with horseshoes, beanbag toss, bocce ball, yard croquet, things like that. So that may develop in the coming years. Also, we're providing recreational programs. Every special interest and activity in town has competitive programs. The associations offer and manage the competitive programs, hockey association, basketball association, all of those different groups. So we try to provide introductory and recreational activities for maybe some of the non-competitive participants. Although some of the adult leagues, I've heard, do get a little competitive. The basketball and volleyball can get to be a little competitive also. So there's a couple of key items. And then nationally, I think one of the fastest growing activities in park and recreation throughout America is actually esports. Electronic sports, gaming, video gaming, and a lot of municipalities and agencies are opening auditoriums and facilities and turning them into esports activity centers. So not necessarily physically active, but still a huge and growing recreational activity for mostly some of the younger age groups, I think. So just some thoughts for the future, and and a couple little additions, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tom. All right, moving on into the agenda, we'll move to the approval of minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the February 13th regular meeting minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion has carried for the February 13th minutes. Moving on to the city council activity recap related to park and rec items.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. You see in the packet, February 21st, saw the annual transfer of unused funds from last year's budget to this year's budget, and the city council accepted the donations you recommended they accept. And then there was a work session after the regular council meeting on February 21st, where we had the manager of Flandreau State Park come in and present to the city council information about Flandreau State Park, past, present, and future. It was quite interesting. And then shortly after that presentation by Craig Beckman, he was promoted up to a regional position at the regional office and is no longer directly managing Flandreau. And then March 7th, the city council meeting saw them authorize the pedestrian safety demonstration project at First North and Garden Street, right across from Commissioner Amy Johnson's house, and at Harmon Park, at the entrance to Harmon Park. So that'll be very exciting this year, this summer, where that will be in place from a demonstration standpoint. And if all things go well and the council and the safety commission approve and so on, it may become, concrete and permanent in a future year. So that'll be interesting to see how pedestrians, bicyclists, and motor vehicles operate and behave around that intersection this summer. They also then jumped on to March 21st, the regular city council meeting. They authorized a scooter rental agreement with a different company than we had in the past. This company is called Levy. So my understanding is scooters will be coming back into New Ulm for the summer season and operated by a private entity. So that's coming. April 4th, the regular city council meeting saw the council authorize a contract to study the intersection of Center and Garden Streets with Bolton and Mink. So that's a long overdue study, and it'd be very interesting to find out what options and information and cost estimates are presented down the road upon completion of that engineering study with that interesting intersection. It's a place you want to maybe avoid during rush hour, and there are just a few rush hours we have here in town. And then after that meeting, there was a work session. I'd like to spend a moment on this topic. The work session was the city council discussing present makeup of all of our various boards and commissions. There are about approximately 20, I would estimate, boards and commissions, mostly volunteer staffed by commissioners and board members. And some people have an opinion that maybe there should be a change in the number of positions on these boards and commissions. The Park and Rec Commission originally had 8 since the beginning of time. And then a couple decades back, it was changed to mandate a counselor sit on the Park and Rec Commission. So then the number was changed from 8 to 9. And then most recently, you're well aware of the fact that we changed it from 9 to 7 at Park and Rec. But some people have the opinion that maybe 5 is a more appropriate number. One representing each ward, and then one board member or commissioner that is appointed by the president or the councilor at large. So that each city councilor would nominate an individual from their ward, and then ultimately the mayor recommends appointment of these individuals, and the city council then authorizes or adopts the appointments. So very interesting. I think it'll evolve. I don't know if there's going to be another work session by the city council. I don't know if they'll send it down to the boards and commissions requesting feedback from the boards and commissions, but if you at some point have some feedback you'd like to send up the flagpole, certainly forward that through staff, and we'll make sure it gets to city administration and ultimately the council.
I'm gonna comment on that one. I like the 7 on the Park and Rec. I don't think, this large board in our Park and Rec system, I don't think we should go to 5. I believe having those extra voices. So when it does come down to that, if they do recommend, I'll go to bat for that. This one should be left at 7.
I would tend to agree with that. I appreciate the ward perspective, that different neighborhoods are, but we also want to ensure different ages, different abilities are also reflected on the commission to ensure that we are providing programming and facilities that meet a broad, yeah. So, I agree with that.
Any other comments or questions on the city council report?
I guess I would also have some concerns about going down to 5. I feel like this is a really good place for people to be involved in their community, and it's hard to get involved in the first place. So to limit opportunities seems something that I'd like to, be aware of anyways.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the council report?
Hearing no questions, I'll be looking then for a motion to receive an order filed this report of the city council past activity. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. All right, moving on to old business, the comprehensive plan update. I will take a, start with this, and then, Tom, you can fill in any blanks. You are more involved than I am, but I am your representative from this, Park and Rec Commission. So Tom is sharing now the, agenda, which will be, our next meeting is on Wednesday. So we'll get to see some additional survey updates, future land use plans. There's a couple of different areas of town that are under detailed discussion around future growth and opportunity. But I'd like to, Tom, if you want to toggle to the community survey. Really interesting if you had a chance to look at this. In all of these questions that Tom carried out, Park and Rec and the programming facilities that we provide are in the top 6 of each of these questions. So, excuse me, over 2,000 respondents, with which the consultants are saying is really unprecedented for a community our size. So we had, clearly the community was ready to share their voice of what they think we should be making a priority. What do you like most about living in New Ulm? It's clean and well-maintained, but parks, trails, open spaces, recreational facilities came in strong at number 2. What should the city's top priorities be for the future? Expand or improve parks, trails, and natural areas came in number 6, also very strong. Most important thing New Ulm can do to attract young adults and new residents. Park and Rec came in actually number 1, but also number 6 on that answer. Factors that will be most influential in stimulating economic growth. Again, Park and Rec came in number 4, according to the respondents. Transportation goals, improve public transit, make New Ulm more walkable and pedestrian friendly, which we are somewhat involved in getting feedback from this group related to what's happening at Garden and First as well right now. Types of destinations should be prioritized. Parks was number 3. Make them easy to get to, which we've heard from community members around where we don't have parks or where there is not easy walkable access to access a park. Outdoor park elements or amenities you like to see improved. Swimming pools was number 1 for outdoor, I'm assuming, but trails was number 2. So really, the community saying continue to do what you do and do even more of that. So And pickleball came in hot and strong, number one, as what you like to see improved or added. So we heard Liz talk a little bit about pickleball, basketball courts as well, but some other things there. Youth and adult recreational programs, adult fitness classes, again, pickleball came in strong, swimming and shooting sports, which is maybe something a little bit newer. So anyway, I think you can make your own conclusions, but clearly we see how important the programming and facilities that we provide to the community are for the quality of life and for people to continue to live here or to consider moving here. So really good feedback. Tom, do you want to add any additional comments?
No, Chair Bugler did a great job, commissioners, very interesting data. And I'm very glad that we're updating the comprehensive plan of our city. And it's something we should be doing regularly. After this, I know that the city council and city administration are gonna put forth an effort to establish and update a strategic plan. Although I know the Park and Recreation Department is gonna focus, or I'm recommending the Park and Recreation Department focuses on updating the Park and Rec System Master Plan and unit master plans. So we have a master plan for each individual Park and Rec unit, whether it's the Civic Center or Lincoln Park or the Trap and Skeet Range or the Pollinator Park or the Dog Park or the Community Garden. We should have master plans for every unit, and then of course a system master plan. That needs to be updated. It would have been updated by now had we not experienced this phenomenon we call renew. We've been quite focused on the renew projects over the past 5+ years. So those are some comments related to planning.
If you have feedback or ideas related to the comprehensive plan, please don't hesitate to reach out to Tom or myself. All right, moving on to new business. We have organization interested in Adopt a Trail.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. You see in the packet, the New Ulm Bicycle Group is requesting to adopt a mile segment of our recreational trail, and that is from 3rd North Street to 3rd South Street. Their representative is not able to attend the meeting today. I know we've got a little more information on page 18 of the packet. This is their actual application submitted by an avid member of the group, and that's Bob Beck or Robert Beck. And some of the functions and activities in their adopt plan would be to pick up litter, trash, and debris, and then of course make any recommended changes or improvements to that section. So a reminder on how this activity works. The group adopting needs to provide at least one activity a year related to the adoption, one cleanup, one project a year, and then submit a report. They also need to donate $100 for each sign they want posted. And the trail segments, a lot of parks just have one sign, but the trail segments have a north end or a south end. So they donated $200. So there will be 2 signs, one on each end of the mile, denoting their adoption. So that'll be coming together this summer. So as the action is recommended in the packet, I recommend that you approve this.
One quick clarifying question. On our trail, as far as the City of New Ulm Trail, do we have others who have adopted?
Yes, we do. This is only the second official
Okay.
complete adoption. The first one was, I think it's Milford 4-H. I'm sorry, it's one of our 4-H groups down by MVTL.
Oh, okay.
A little bit north, a couple miles north of the trail, that the segment, the bicycle group is adopting.
Okay.
There's approximately, I think it's 9 miles of paved recreational trail. The circle loop is approximately 12 miles, but some of that is on street. So we still have an opportunity for organizations to adopt trail segments. And of the parks, we probably have about 10 parks, 10 of our nearly 40 park units that have been adopted in the past.
Great program. All right, any further questions for Tom? If not, I'll seek a motion and a second to accept the New Ulm Bicycle Group Adopted Trail application.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to new business item 8.2, donations. You can see the donations listed. Tom, turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. You see in the packet a number of donations offered to the city at this meeting through the Park and Recreation Department. I'll read them into the record. For the German Park Amphitheater, $228.71 from Doyle Miller, honoring New Ulm Public School class of 1955. A grill, one of the large grills up at Herman Heights Park, $1,500, honoring John P. Hyman from John H. Hyman and Lori Walzer. And then we have a $1,500 donation for the Puppet Wagon from Healthy Communities, Healthy Youth. A $1,000 donation for park programs from the Optimist Club. A $1,000 donation for the Pollinator Park from the Isaac Walton League. $2,876.40 for ballpark furniture from the New Ulm Baseball Association at Johnson Park. Riverside Park Environmental Learning Center programs and expenses, a $5,000 donation from the Isaac Walton League. And additionally, another $5,000 donation from the Isaac Walton League for to go into the fund that we're continuing to try to build a replacement trap and skeet range building. We still have quite a ways to go on the fundraising, but this is a very kind and generous $5,000 donation from the Isaac Walton League. So the grand total at this meeting is $18,105.11. I recommend that you forward this on to the City Council for their acceptance.
Any questions for Tom? On behalf of the commissioners, our gratefulness to the community organizations and individuals who continue to support our programming and facilities, which make additional programming and improving our facilities possible to serve our community. We are grateful. I am looking for a motion to offer a resolution and waive the reading to accept the following donations that were just read by Director Schmitz, offered to the City of New Ulm through the Park and Rec Department for the identified purposes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion, and with great thanks to the donors.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Thank you. All right, moving on to reports from commissioners and staff, the 9.1 Department Activity Report. Director Schmitz.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. You have in the packet the two activity reports from the past 2 months of February and March. Staff has nothing to add to these. If you have any questions, we can try to address those. But otherwise, I would recommend that you simply receive and order them filed.
Any questions for Director Schmitz related to the February or March activity report? If not, I'll look for a motion and a second to receive and order filed the February 2023 and March 2023 Park and Rec Department activity reports. Do we have a motion? A second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. The motion has carried. On to a staff report. Director Schmitz.
Thank you very much, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. Other news from staff, you heard about our programs, and all of a sudden, we have a major weather transition happening. If you got outside at all today, we may not have a spring. It's going from winter to summer, and our groundskeepers and our stickball fields, baseball and softball, all of the outdoor activities are going to shift into high gear from a maintenance standpoint and also an activity standpoint. Just driving by Harmon Park, I saw one of our school softball teams taking on Field 3 at Harmon Park this afternoon. So welcome to summer, and it's going to be full speed ahead. I know the trap and skeet range is going to be very busy. The clay target shooting season has arrived for the high schools. All 3 high schools, Public, Cathedral, and MVL, have active clay target shooting teams and compete statewide, co-ed. And that's very exciting to see that park unit get a lot of activity also at the far north end of town. Other than that, I just want to state I'm extremely thankful and grateful to have been a part of the wonderful City of New Ulm staff for nearly 18 years. Additionally, I've been very fortunate to have been part of numerous other excellent parks, trails, and recreation staff teams over my 45-year career in the profession. My sincere thank yous go out to all the present and past park and recreation commissioners, city councilors, mayors, volunteers, and donors. Additionally, all my City of New Ulm co-workers, especially all the Park and Rec Department staff, and NewCat. Additionally, I'd like to thank the media, especially the New Ulm Journal and KNUJ Radio. Also my past employers. Some of my past employers include the State of Minnesota, Department of Natural Resources, State Parks, the Boy Scouts of America, Twin Valley Council, headquartered in Mankato, Mount Cato Ski Area, the National Park Service at Gunnison, Colorado, Salt Lake County Parks and Recreation Department in Utah, and Bountiful City, suburb of Salt Lake City in Utah. And then Mankato State University, where my bachelor degree studies were completed in Recreation, Parks, and Leisure Services. And finally, my entire family. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can't imagine, as you look back and reflect on your 18 years of service with the City of New Ulm and your 45-year career and all the organizations that you have touched over these 45 years. Behind those organizations are people like us whose lives are improved. Our quality of life is better because you have cheerleaded, you've been a leader, you've advocated that Parks and Recs is a really important part, and we saw the survey data. The community says that as well. It is part of our quality of life. It helps our physical health, our mental health, and our ability to socially connect with other people. You have helped create that. And not only have you helped create that for our community and our region, you've also led us to receive awards, and of which you're receiving an award for Hall of Fame this coming Friday as well for your leadership and your service over these years. On behalf of the commissioners and on behalf of our community, we are so extremely grateful that you have fought for this community and brought amazing facilities and programming and led a great team that I can't be more proud of my community and what we offer to everyone who's here, whose lives are better because of that programming. So,
Thank you very, very much.
commissioners, any other words to share?
And it's only gonna be short, Tom, because you have one more meeting to go. That'll be your final thank you. A week to go. But again, as a counselor, you've been a pleasure to work with. When I was employed by the city, fantastic. I don't know if we actually ever had a row or not. Even when I was the building official or counselor.
Never a row with the building official.
But yeah, again, much
time.
appreciated, fantastic career. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom, for 18 years. You made New Ulm a better place to live. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jim.
I guess I would say like that picture in the journal of you about to go on the ninja course the other day pretty much sums up something that I'm going to take away from you, and that is just your enjoyment of the job. Like every time I saw you, it's something that I learned from you for sure, is just how important it is when your enjoyment of the job, your enjoyment of the people that you worked with, the enjoyment of the people that you served. It was very clear to me that that was a fuel for you, and I just really appreciate that, and I'll count you as a great mentor in that regard. So I'm really excited for what you're going to do with this next chapter and the time that you're going to spend with your family and the new adventures you'll create. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy.
Tom's a dear friend of mine and my favorite Park and Rec director. But evidently you've had a hard time keeping jobs because you've had many different sort of jobs. But 18 years here is great. We have a wonderful park system. You spend other people's money better than anybody I know. But you're also a dear friend, as I said. He's my golf partner. We've been trying to get on this board, me and him, for the same time, for a long time. Finally, I got on the board and you're getting off, so that doesn't really help me very much. But I'll see you very much afterwards and we'll play golf, and that's great. You deserve every accolade you're getting, and I hope you have a great retirement.
Thank you,
Because you
Kurt.
deserve it. You've worked hard.
Thank
It
you
has
very
been an
much.
absolute pleasure knowing you.
Thank you.
Tom, on behalf of the commission, we have a small gift for you that we hope you can use to enjoy
Thank
in your
you.
free time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun and very fortunate and thankful. Thank you.
Can we clap?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Any other commissioner reports? Can't top that, but, okay, all right. Well, it's your last meeting as well. Thank you for leading us through all of these meetings. Commissioners, so Tom retires on April 28th will be his last day. Feel free to connect with him before then. Cheryl will serve as Assistant Director in his absence. If you have any questions, concerns, please go to Cheryl. She'll be our resource until a replacement is announced. Date of our next meeting is May 8th here at 4 p.m. If you're unable to attend or would like something added to the agenda, please let me, Danita, or Cheryl know as well. Any other business? Hearing none, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Tom.
Tom, through your lamp on.